The day started like any other. Birds chirping, sun glowing on the manicured lawns, and me sipping coffee on the porch while my daughter Maddie sketched in her notebook. But if you live in a neighborhood with a Karen for an HOA president, you know peace is always on a countdown timer. And when it hit zero, it exploded bigger than I ever imagined. Welcome to the HOA Karen Chronicles. Comment which country you're watching from. Let's see how far this story goes. I'm a single father to a beautiful daughter, Maddie. She's my pride and joy, respectful, well-mannered, and the kind of girl who says thank you, even to the Alexa voice. I don't joke about her. I work double shifts just to make sure she never lacks anything. Our bond is unshakable. But in every neighborhood story, there's always that one villain who wants to destroy what's good. Ours is Lucy, the iron-fisted HOA president with the personality of expired milk. Lucy fined people for everything. $50 for leaving a bike on the porch, $75 for a flower pot that didn't match the community's color scheme, and my personal favorite, a $100 fine to Mr. Thompson because his dog barked 3 times in 1 minute. 3 barks, Lucy claimed, violated the peaceful sound ordinance. The woman wrote fines like Oprah handed out cars. You get a fine! You get a fine! Everybody gets a fine! I never bowed to her petty rules, and that made me her enemy. Maddie couldn't stand her either, once whispering to me, Dad, Lucy's face looks like it's allergic to happiness. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my sandwich, but beneath the humor, Lucy hated us with the kind of bitterness you could use to pickle cucumbers. And the way she carried herself, clipboard clutched like a judge's gavel, sometimes made me wonder if she even realized she wasn't law enforcement. She blurred the line between HOA bylaws and actual statutes, so often it felt like only a matter of time before she pushed her luck into illegal territory. Then came Tuesday. Calm skies, gentle breeze, and a black sedan rolling down the street like it came out of a detective movie. Out stepped 2 men and 1 woman, all dressed in black. They knocked, flashing badges. Child Protective Services. Lucy had reported me as an unfit father. The woman in black spoke first, her voice sharp enough to slice the air. Mr. Carter, we've received multiple reports that your daughter is being raised in an unsafe environment. We need to assess the situation immediately. I blinked. Unsafe? Maddie was standing right behind me with her sketch pad. She looked at them like they were aliens that had crash landed on her afternoon. What are you talking about? I asked, trying to keep calm. My daughter has straight A's, a room cleaner than a hospital ward, and she volunteers at the animal shelter every Saturday. Who said this nonsense? They exchanged glances. The report is anonymous, but it details severe neglect. Anonymous, my foot. It didn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure out who filed that complaint. Maddie whispered, It's Lucy, isn't it? I gave her the classic dad look that meant don't say it out loud, but yes. Neighbors started gathering, phones out, popcorn metaphorically popping. Mr. Thompson yelled from across the street, That girl's more responsible than most adults here. You people are wasting your time. Even Mrs. Lopez, who normally stayed neutral, called out, She tutors my son for free. Don't you dare take her away. I reminded the agents, You know filing a false report of abuse is a crime under Penal Code Draft 148.5, right? Someone's wasting state resources just to play neighborhood politics. That made them pause. But the taller one cleared his throat and said, We still have to follow protocol. We'll need to inspect the inside of your house. My stomach dropped. Not because there was anything wrong. My place was spotless. But because the thought of strangers judging my home felt like Lucy's dream come true. They stepped in, looking around like they were auditioning for an HGTV special. The woman scribbled notes when she saw dishes drying in the rack. I couldn't help but snap. Careful, I might get fined by Lucy for the forks not facing east. Maddie giggled nervously, but I could see the worry in her eyes. The agents were polite but robotic, and despite the neighbors defending us, they circled back to the same line. We may have to take her for further evaluation. My heart pounded. Losing Maddie wasn't an option, and if Lucy thought her scheme would stick, she clearly hadn't read the part of the law that punishes people for malicious lies. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. The second those agents said they might take Maddie, my chest tightened like a vice. I stepped forward, planting myself between them and my daughter. You're not taking her. Not today, not ever. You're basing this on the lies of a neighborhood tyrant who thinks owning a clipboard makes her God. My voice thundered across the street, and Maddie squeezed my hand tighter. The neighbors roared in support. Mrs. Lopez shouted, This is madness. That man makes better lunches than my own husband. The crowd laughed, but the agents still stood firm. Then Mr. Thompson raised his phone like a weapon. I've got this all recorded. If you drag that child out, it'll be on every social feed by morning. Better hope your agency enjoys bad press. Before they could respond, a sheriff's car pulled up. Sheriff Daniels climbed out, hands resting casually on his belt. He looked at the agents, then at me. Let me guess? Lucy? They explained, waving the so-called report. Daniels skimmed, snorted, and muttered, "Figures." Daniels ordered a team to check Lucy's house immediately. What they uncovered was the smoking gun, embezzlement from HOA funds, personal luxuries charged under community beautification, and invoices for ridiculous things like a $4,000 cat psychic consultation, all neatly tied to her accounts. The CPS agents realized they'd been manipulated. Worse for Lucy, her actions weren't just petty, they were criminal. Filing a false child abuse report falls under State Penal Code Paragraph 11172, which makes it a felony to knowingly submit false allegations of child neglect or abuse. Add in her HOA scams, and she was facing violations of fraudulent misappropriation of funds, Penal Code Tax 484, and filing false government reports, Penal Code Track 148.5. Daniels read her the charges as the cuffs clicked around her wrists. Lucy wailed, "I was protecting the neighborhood." Daniels shot back, "Lady, you were protecting your spa membership." Maddie leaned into me, whispering, "Guess Lucy's allergic to freedom too." The block erupted in laughter, echoing as Lucy was shoved into the patrol car, Mr. A, whiskers meowing pathetically from her window. The fallout was brutal for her. The HOA board voted her out unanimously. Every ridiculous fine she issued was reversed, and her home was repossessed to cover the stolen funds. A judge ordered community service under Section 1203.1 Penal Code, sentencing her to clean the very sidewalks she once terrorized with violation slips. Peace returned, Maddie was safe, and Lucy became nothing more than a cautionary tale in our neighborhood's history. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Have you had a similar encounter with a Karen HOA or anyone in the HOA board? Let us know in the comments.